The way that we interact with everyone and everything in our life is based on the nature of our mind. Some of us are constantly anxious, worried about the future, while others are a bit more carefree. Some of us are highly reactive, set off by the mildest of inconveniences for the rest of the day, while some of us are more go with the flow. So we know we have all these different kinds of minds, but what's not so obvious is that it's actually possible to train and improve your mind. And in my experience, the most transformative habit that I ever took on to improve my mind has been meditation. Something that a lot of people don't realize about me is that I used to be extremely socially anxious. I'd go to a party or the gym, and my mind would be racing non-stop on red alert mode. Why didn't this person say hi to me? What do I talk about? Why am I making such weird faces? Why don't people like me? The irony is that all of this concern about how I was presenting myself was actually making the problem worse. I was being less present and less comfortable, and the people I was talking to could feel that, which in turn made them feel less comfortable. As I began the practice of meditation, this high-speed pattern of thought finally began to slow down over time. Anxious thoughts could still arise, but I wasn't as identified or swept away by them. I got in the habit of observing these thoughts without reaction, gently releasing them, and focusing on the present. This in turn made space for more rational, productive thoughts. Things like, people are actually more concerned about themselves than me. An awkward moment isn't permanent. I can always start over. And perhaps most importantly, worrying isn't serving me. It's actually making things worse. Meditation isn't just some relaxing breathing exercise that you do for 10 minutes at a time, nor is it a way of getting in the zone like you do when you listen to music or you're working out, as a way just to distract yourself from your problems. Real meditation is training for your mind to be more aware of your thoughts and emotions in every aspect of your life, whether you are formally sitting down and meditating, or you're just walking down the street, or you're in a meeting with your colleagues. With greater awareness of your thoughts and emotions comes greater control. Here's how it works. In your typical meditation app, you'll sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and keep your focus on the breath for about 10 minutes. Every time you notice that you've been distracted by a thought, you gently observe that thought without judgment, release it, and come back to the breath. The key phrase here is observe without judgment. This is distinctly different from getting frustrated with your distraction, thinking, when will this be over? I always screw this up. Or even telling yourself, stop thinking. These are all just additional thoughts, and they're adding to the chain reaction of thinking that we're trying to break. That's why instead we observe the thought, gently release it, and come back to the breath. Now, the first time you meditate, these 10 minutes are going to feel like 10 hours. You'll be constantly distracted, thinking about the work you need to do, the movie you just saw, or the plans you have that weekend. But this is exactly the point of the practice. Every time you catch yourself distracted and come back to the breath, you're building up a muscle in your mind so that you can use this same ability to observe thoughts without reaction in your day-to-day life, including when you're feeling anxious. And at the start, it might feel like a complete waste of time, like you're not accomplishing anything. But over time, you'll slowly start to notice changes. You'll have a more calm mind in general, where less distracting thoughts pop up in the first place. And when they do, you'll have the power to observe them without reaction and come back to the present. And this isn't just during meditation. This is when you're feeling anxious about that presentation you need to make, or when you have to see that person that you don't particularly like, or when you're angry about that driver that rear-ended you and you're looping the same story to yourself for the 100th time in your head. Your entire world is seen through the filter of your mind. And having more control over your thoughts and emotions, that's one of the greatest superpowers you can have in this life. Improving your mental well-being is the main reason that most people get started with meditation. So if that's your goal, I highly recommend using the Calm or Headspace apps. Both apps have introductory courses that explain the concepts of meditation, and then you can branch into specific topics like anxiety, stress, focus, and relationships. However, meditation can go much deeper. There's a huge value in being able to observe things exactly as they are, before your biases, before your fears, before you even have any idea of what's right or wrong. Meditation allows you to explore the nature of your consciousness, reality, and who or what exactly you are, which many people believe is consciousness itself. I'm going to talk more about these topics in future videos, but if you'd like to dig deeper yourself, or if you just want a more scientific approach to meditation, I highly recommend the Waking Up app by Sam Harris. Sam is a neuroscientist, but also famously an atheist. So if you thought that meditation was going to require some spiritual belief, or you might need to go out and buy some healing crystals, think again. This app is for you. Meditation isn't a silver bullet. I still sometimes get anxious, and I still sometimes see a therapist. But I've come leaps and bounds from the fearful, anxious person that I once was, constantly caught up in my thoughts. And to that, I credit meditation. I hope this video has been useful, and that by hearing a little bit of my experience with meditation, you might have a better idea of how meditation can help you in your life. This is still very much a journey for me, so if you have any insights of your own to share about meditation, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. And we'll continue that journey together as we discuss more topics on philosophy, meditation, and mindset on The Conscious Experience.